Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It is March already and it's time for another 10 movies for you to check out this month. I hope you find something here that you really enjoy. So let's get started and dive into this top 10. Number 10, Freaks. Kept locked inside her house by her father, 7-year-old Chloe lives in fear and fascination of the outside world. It's a place where abnormals are a constant threat, or so she believes. But when a mysterious stranger offers her a glimpse of what's really happening, Chloe soon learns the truth isn't so simple, but the danger is very real. Freaks is an amazing movie, and I don't want to give away the twist of this one, but it comes early in the film, and we follow this girl who's terrified, who's housebound, whose father acts really strangely round about her, but there is something bigger going on, some grander story to be told here, one including the abnormals who are such a danger within the movie. I'm keeping this blank because I want you to go into this movie knowing as little as possible. I think it's great, it's really surprising, and it's incredibly entertaining. Number 9, The Green Inferno. In New York, college student Justin joins a group of activists led by Alejandro and travels to Peru to protest against the timber industry that is destroying the Amazon rainforest. When the group is returning to civilization, the plane blows up and crashes into the forest. Soon the survivors discover that they're not alone and they're abducted by a tribe of cannibals. Eli Roth's love letter to the cannibal movies of the late 70s, early 80s, and it tries to capture the magic and nose of giving a bunch of ne'er-do-wells who try to do the best, who think they're doing the grand journey, but the people they're trying to save. This effort that they're on, is it really purposeful? Is it worthwhile? When they're captured by this tribe of people, they are put in extreme danger for trying to be progressive and help out. Is it a lesson learned in this one? It's horrible in the way that there is blood and guts within it. And it's a kind of interesting story. If you're a little bit scared to go and check out Cannibal Holocaust or Cannibal Ferox, this is a good starting point. Number 8, Good Time. Following a botched bank robbery, Connie Nikas and his younger, mentally challenged brother Nick are separated, with Nick being apprehended. To pay his brother's $75,000 bail, Connie traverses New York's underworld across one long night, stopping at nothing to complete his goal. Robert Pattinson is a revelation in this movie, and I love movies that take their time over one night in a rushed situation trying to get to a goal, and as he constantly finds time ticking away, he gets more stressed and more desperate until the thrilling conclusion of this movie. There is surprises galore in this wonderfully acted, superbly directed movie that is just, it's one of those ones that you won't forget when you sit down and watch it. Number 7, Big Daddy. After failing at a last-minute ploy to save his relationship with his fed-up girlfriend, a man ends up taking care of a 5-year-old boy who is his best friend's son. His best friend is on a business trip, and the man ends up developing a relationship with the boy. Soon after, he learns what responsibility is all about. Adam Sandler's a kind of love or hate kind of character. Some of his movies are brilliant, some of them are just not. Big Daddy is one of his better movies. It's one without silly voices or a silly character. It's just a lazy man-child stuck in a rut who gets brought out of that by the addition of this 5-year-old kid. And some of the things they get up to are downright hilarious. I would put this up there as one of Sandler's best movies. And if he's a person that you don't normally like, I believe this is one of the movies that you may actually enjoy. Number 6, Kung Fu Hustle. Set in Canton, China in the 40s, this story revolves in a town ruled by the Axe Gang. Singh, who desperately wants to become a member, he stumbles into a slum ruled by eccentric landlords who turn out to be the greatest kung fu masters in disguise. Singh's actions eventually cause the Axe Gang and the slumlords to engage in an explosive kung fu battle. Only one side will win, and only one hero will emerge as the greatest kung fu master of all. This isn't your typical action movie. This has something very fun about it, very playful. It is violent, it is energetic, it feels at moments as if it's becoming almost comic bookish in the way it's showing these crazy movements, the crazy action that's going on, the violence that's happening. It's incredibly funny as well, part comedy, part action movie, and 100% awesome. Number 5, No Escape Room. When an escape room attraction turns from a fun bonding activity to a dangerous paranormal experience, a father and daughter must flee from an angry spirit. When I put on No Escape Room, I was instantly tempted to turn it off as the sci-fi logo turned up at the start. But I stuck with it because what else had I to do? And I found a movie that was very atmospheric, very fun. It is tropey and the characters are one-dimensional. But that doesn't take away from the effect of that atmosphere. I think it's wonderfully created. And even though the story loses its track midway through and has an ending that's just one of those inducing endings, it's still a movie that I had some entertainment with. Bear in mind that I am a horror fan and I'm a little bit forgiving about most of these kind of movies. Number 4, Dave Chapelle, Sticks and Stones. Dave Chapelle takes on gun culture, the opioid crisis and the tidal wave of celebrity scandals in a defiant stand-up special filmed in Atlanta. I really like Dave Chapelle. I feel like he's one of those comedians who tells ridiculously funny jokes but has constant commentary on the world around us that's really pertinent and really just digs deep into the heart of the problems that a lot of people have. And this stand-up comedian really delivers here, and this is one that I've watched several times and I think is both hilarious and gets to the meat of several problems within the world at the moment. Well worth checking out. Number 3, Shutter Island. Assigned the thorny task of investigating the incomprehensible disappearance of a deranged child murderess, troubled US Marshal Teddy Daniels and his new partner Chuck Ull travel to Ashcliffe Hospital, Shutter Island's impregnable asylum for the criminally insane. Soon within the dark purgatory's thick stone walls, indestructible nuances of medical malpractice suggest that the institution's cryptic senior psychiatrists must be hiding something. Shutter Island is one of those movies that demands to be seen twice. I didn't like it the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I thought it was an absolute masterpiece. The way that Scorsese has created 2 films here just baffles the mind and how somebody can be that creative. The first time you watch it, the movie's something. The second time you watch it, it's something else all completely. And to get those duality within almost every performance is downright amazing. Shutter Island is an affecting movie. It's a haunting movie, very atmospheric, incredibly shot and just wonderful. Number 2, Scott Pilgrim. Pilgrim plays in a band that aspires to success. He hasn't recovered from being dumped by his former girlfriend, who's now a success with her own band, and when Scott falls for Ramona Flowers, he has trouble as she comes with baggage. 7 ex-lovers, with each of whom Scott must do battle to the death in order to win the heart of Ramona. Edgar Wright brings Scott O'Malley's comic book to the screen, and it seemed like an impossible task for anybody that was a fan of the comic books. It really feels fast and fluid. It feels as if it's filled with these caricatures, these characters who just jump off the screen, the crazy antics. The 7 ex-boyfriends that turn up are all incredibly varied and different and just super fun. And this is an easy breezy film that I just utterly love and don't feel that it gets the recognition that it deserves. Number 1, The Discovery. A scientist who uncovers scientific proof that there is indeed an afterlife. His son, who's not too sure about his father's discovery, travels to his father's home, and on the way he meets a mysterious woman who has her own reasons for wanting to find out more about the afterlife. A Netflix original that came out a few years ago that I feel kind of faded into the ether, and I really like this one. The idea of a scientific discovery proving that there's an afterlife, and suddenly people just decide, why am I bothering with this life here? I'll just move on to that plane. And it still leaves up all these questions and offers these different theories as to why people would do that. Why are people unhappy with their current life? What would ultimately make them happy? And I feel it does that with an exciting plot and some great performances at the heart of it. And I feel that I need to make it number one so people go back and either revisit it or remember to check it out this time. So there we have it, 10 movies from March 2021. I hope you find something there that you absolutely love, really enjoy, or hopefully nothing that ruins your evening. I'd love to know anyway. If there's anything I've missed off my list, let me know in the comment box, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.